everyone, my name is Betty Lou and welcome to the first of a new video series that's going to explore Princeton University. The topic of this video is going to be keynote speakers. Speeches are a very important part of everyday life. They can be used to set the tone of an event or to tie certain ideas together. This is why you'll often see speakers at events such as commencement, opening ceremonies, and alumni reunions. I wanted to share with you guys a video of Princeton's 2013 commencement exercises where Ben Bernanke, the former chairman of the Federal Reserve, gave a rousing speech to the class of 2013 and their friends and family. Let's take a look at it, shall we?
Hi. Well, it's nice to be back at Princeton. I find it difficult to believe that it's been almost 11 years since I departed these halls for Washington. I wrote recently to inquire about the status of my leave at the university, and the letter I got back began, "Regrettably, Princeton receives many more qualified applicants for faculty positions than we can accommodate." I'll extend my best wishes to the seniors later, but first I want to congratulate the parents and the families sitting out on the lawn. As a parent myself, I know that putting your kid through college these days is no walk in the park. Some years ago, I had a colleague who sent 3 kids through Princeton, even though neither he nor his wife attended this university. He and his spouse were very proud of that accomplishment, as they should have been. But my colleague also used to say that from a financial perspective, the experience was kind of like buying a new Cadillac every year and then driving it off a cliff. I should say that he always added he would do it all over again in a minute. So, well done, moms and dads. This is indeed an impressive and appropriate setting for a commencement. I'm sure that from this lectern, any number of distinguished spiritual leaders have ruminated on the lessons of the 10 Commandments. I don't have that kind of confidence. And anyway, coveting your neighbor's ox or donkey is not the problem it used to be. So I thought I would use my few minutes today to make 10 suggestions, or maybe just 10 observations, about the world and your lives after Princeton. Please note these points have nothing to do with interest rates. My qualification for making such suggestions or observations, besides being kindly invited to speak here today by President Tillman, is the same reason that your obnoxious brother or sister got to go to bed later. I am older than you. All of what follows has been road-tested in real-life situations, but past performance is no guarantee of future results. Number 1. The poet Robert Burns once said something about the best-laid plans of mice and men ganging aft the gley, whatever a gley means. A more contemporary philosopher, Forrest Gump, said something similar about life and boxes of chocolate and not knowing what you're going to get. They were both right. Life is amazingly unpredictable. Any 22-year-old who thinks they know where they will be in 10 years, much less in 30, is simply lacking in imagination. Look what happened to me. A dozen years ago, I was minding my own business, teaching Economics 101 in Alexander Hall, and thinking of good excuses for avoiding faculty meetings. Then I got a phone call. Economics is a highly sophisticated field of thought that is superb at explaining to policymakers precisely why the choices they made in the past were wrong. About the future, not so much. However, careful economic analysis does have one important benefit, which is that it can help kill ideas that are completely logically inconsistent or wildly at variance with the data. This insight covers at least 90% of proposed economic policies. 7. I'm not going to tell you that money doesn't matter, because you wouldn't believe me anyway. In fact, for too many people around the world, money is literally a life or death proposition. But if you're part of the lucky minority with the ability to choose, remember that money is a means and not an end. A career decision based only on money and not on love of the work or desire to make a difference is a recipe for unhappiness. 8. Nobody likes to fail, but failure is an essential part of life and of learning. If your uniform isn't dirty, you haven't been in the game. 9. I spoke earlier about definitions of personal success in an unpredictable world. I hope that as you develop your own definition of success, as you will be able to do so, I hope that you'll be able to do it with a close companion on your journey. In making that choice, remember that physical beauty is evolution's way of assuring us that the other person doesn't have too many intestinal parasites. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm all for beauty, romance, and sexual attraction. Where would Hollywood and Madison Avenue be without them? But while important, those are not the only things to look for in a partner. The two of you will have a long trip together, I hope, and you'll need each other's support and sympathy more times than you can count. Speaking as somebody who's been happily married for 35 years, I can't imagine any choice as consequential for a lifelong journey than a choice of traveling companion. 10. Call your mom and dad once in a while. A time will come when you'll want your own grown-up, busy, hyper-successful children to call you. Also, remember who paid your tuition to Princeton. Well, those are my 10 suggestions. They're probably worth exactly what you paid for them. But they come from someone who shares your affection for this great institution and who wishes you the best for the future. Congratulations, graduates. Give them hell.
Thanks for watching, everyone. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below, and I'll do my best to try to answer them in the next video. Until then, see you next time.